let's go straight to this. This is from Popular Mechanics. And wouldn't you know it, it starts like this. An invisible mirror world might be making our universe expand, scientists say. Okay, all right. So now the weird part about this in the news cycles and everything that we're talking about and everything that Troubled Minds is like I said, that I don't know if this stuff is actually true. And it's coming from, in this case, like I said, Popular Mechanics. But, just because scientists say maybe or might, this is scientific maybe juice, okay, from actual scientists. And that's fine by me, right? We do our own version of maybe juice. But the thing that keeps recurring in the zeitgeist in these sort of news articles is this idea of an invisible mirror world, okay? Maybe like there you go, dream walking with the Sandman. Thanks, Night Stalker. Hey, it all blends together, and if I don't compartmentalize things in my head, I get all screwed up. But anyway, so this invisible mirror world, it keeps popping up in the news, right? We've talked about it on the news show that we do on Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. on Twitch. But the thing is, right, it keeps coming back. It's like it pops up, and then there's a new one, there's a new one, there's a new one. This is from June 1st, 2022. Let's read just a little bit about this, okay? Now, they're talking about the Hubble constant, all right? And here we go, straight from the article. Astrophysicists have been struggling to figure out why a fundamental figure that has helped explain the expansion of our universe since its inception isn't as reliable as once thought. Our data gathering instruments, including both ground and space-based telescopes, have improved over the years. The problem their increasing accuracy reveals is that the Hubble constant, the predicted rate of the expansion of the universe, changes depending on the method of measurement used. This, of course, is troubling because it implies that the universe could be smaller than currently thought, altering much of our knowledge about the cosmos. But we don't have to scrap the current model of the universe. Instead, there could be a mirror universe that's just like our own, exerting its invisible influence on ours. Francis Yan Cyr-Racine of the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque is trying to reconcile differing figures for the Hubble constant by using the idea of a mirror universe. It's identical to our own, down to the subatomic particles, but its only interaction with our world is through its gravitational influence. Cyr-Racine's research on the possibility of a mirror universe was published earlier this month in the journal Physical Review Letters. Okay, that's how we start, right? Now, like I said, it wouldn't be so peculiar to me. This, I love the idea of a mirror universe of like the opposite of what we are, right? Again, everybody knows you go look in a mirror and you don't see yourself as yourself. You see yourself as the opposite of yourself, meaning that, this side of your face is on that side, right? When you look in the mirror. And it's super creepy to me because, I'm on camera a lot with the show and things like this. And a direct camera on my face gives me a more accurate representation of what I look like. But when I look in the mirror, I kind of almost don't look like myself, right? It's slight. It's very slight. You know how they say your face is divided in two, and if it's asymmetrical in terms of if you split it in half, safely in with Photoshop in Minecraft, if you split your face in half and replicated one side in an exact mirror image, you'd be a completely different person because your two sides of your face are asymmetrical, okay? So in those terms, it seems, interesting that when you look in a mirror, you're not exactly as other people see you. But again, we're used to seeing ourselves in the mirror because that's the easiest way to, check the eyebrows and make sure the hair is just right. It's the mirror. And so we're used to seeing ourselves in this backward image, okay? In this odd, even though it's slight, it's going to be slightly off, but it's just slightly enough that I notice it. I'm like, do I look like that? Whatever. It's not worth creeping out about, right? To me anyway. I'm like, I'm over it. I'm an old man. So I'm just like, whatever. Maybe it tripped me out when I was 5 years old. No more. Okay. But the thing is, it gets you thinking in terms of this mirror universe, like exactly how these scientists are describing. And they're saying with the Hubble constant and the expansion of the universe and the rest of this, now they're trying to interject this idea of this mirror universe, invisible mirror world that's coexisting with us. It's here with us right now, except it's interacting only in terms of its gravity pressure on our universe itself, okay? Which means, of course, that it's a way to explain dark matter, the dark energy effect, and the rest of this that sort of are throwing the math off from this Hubble constant, okay? Which is all fine. That's all fine and well. Interesting, fun, but it keeps popping up. It keeps popping up, this idea of a mirror world or a mirror universe. Now, of course, right? So then you start to think, all right, at least I start to think, I'm like, okay, so look, this keeps being put back into news cycles, kind of being reintroduced into the zeitgeist. And again, like we were talking about last night with maybe the multiverse of madness with Doctor Strange, we're talking about Stranger Things and the Upside Down. It's like, wait, so we're talking string theory here, except it's sort of a shadow string theory, okay? So what does that mean? I mean, I'm not even sure we have like a proper scientific identification of what that may actually mean. And so, well, it's up to us. It lands in our lap to talk about what this might actually look like. So I got a few questions for you tonight, per usual, right? Per usual, we got some questions to ask and some speculations to make, all right, amongst friends. So the first question is, if there is a mirror world or a mirror universe, what does it look like? What does it look like? Does it look like Hawkins and the Upside Down from Stranger Things, where things are almost the same, but they're not quite the same, right? Does it look something like that? Does it look like, what did the Robert say over on Rockfin? Are we walking backwards? Is it a place where we die first and then progress backward through our life until we're born, at which point, well, things end, right? The end is the beginning, is the beginning is the end. Is that what this looks like? What does an actual mirror universe look like, okay? And then that's the first question, all right? Second question, how would we get there? Do you think there's a way to bridge what a mirror universe is from here to there, or a mirror world, and actually take steps physically into that upside down? Is there a way to do this? And we're going to talk about mirrors tonight in that sense, because again, we're talking about a mirror universe. It probably makes the most sense that if you're going to have some sort of, ritual to get you into the mirror universe, the mirror world, as it were, the upside down, you would do a ritual with a mirror. We're going to talk a little bit about that, because why the hell not? So that's the second question. How do we get there? You think there's a way to actually do a ritual with a particular mirror? Well, I don't know, maybe a cursed mirror, or maybe a blessed mirror, or maybe a regular old mirror, or something else. I don't know. You tell me. So that's the second question. How do we actually get there if there's an upside down? Okay. Number one, what would the shadow world, the upside down, the inverse of everything, this idea of a mirror universe look like? Number two, how would we get there physically? Is it possible? Number three, what does it mean? Does that mean there's a version of you there that's not quite you, that's maybe running in backward time, like we've talked about in the past? Or do we speak in reverse? What's going on with this? I don't know. I mean, there's a whole lot to consider here. And so we'll talk about this as we go, but it gets even more weird, because once you start talking about actual mirrors, all right, there's a whole subset of paranormal stuff regarding mirrors themselves. All right. And of course, again, haunted mirrors, facing two mirrors across from each other, that whole Bloody Mary thing where you get in the bathroom in the dark and you say Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, right? All the rest of this stuff. Like, what the hell's going on with this? Is there some sort of maybe power or portal associated with the mirror itself?